In this video, I want to discuss the addition rule of probability. The addition rule defines when we are trying to figure out the probability of an event or another event happening. Now, before I get into the addition rules, I do want to define what it means for two events to be mutually exclusive. And what that means is the events are independent, meaning they cannot occur simultaneously. As an example, if you are flipping a coin, flipping a heads and flipping a tails on the same flip, those are mutually exclusive events because you cannot flip both a heads and a tails on a single flip. On the other hand, an example of two events being not mutually exclusive can be drawing a 10 from a deck of cards and drawing a spades from a deck of cards, because there actually is a 10 of spades in a deck, so those are not mutually exclusive. Okay, let's talk about the addition rules. So there are typically two addition rules. However, you will find after we review both of them that the second addition rule really also includes the first addition rule. However, when teaching this, it's often helpful to view them separately. So addition rule 1. When two events A and B are mutually exclusive, then the probability of A or B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B. And in case you're wondering what the symbol for probability of A or B, or what that U looking thing is, that is the union symbol. I have a key at the bottom of the page that shows, probability of A union B, it's equal to the probability of A or B. So that's down at the bottom. Okay, so let's do an example of this, of addition rule 1. So, for example, if we have the probability of a 1 or a 2 when rolling a 6-sided die, so we would want probability of 1 or 2 is equal to the probability of 1 plus the probability of a 2. And we would set that to be equal to something. So the probability of a 1 is equal to 1/6. The probability of a 2 is also equal to 1/6. And because you cannot get both a 1 and 2 on the same roll, they are mutually exclusive. So we can simply add them together. And we would get 1/6 plus 1/6, so that is equal to 2/6 or 1/3. Okay, so that's the first addition rule. The second addition rule, when two events A and B are not mutually exclusive, then the probability of A or B is the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A and B. And the symbol for the probability of A and B is the A with basically the upside down U. And you can see that at the bottom of the page in the key as well. Okay, so let's take an example of this. So let's say we want the probability of pulling a jack or a red card when drawing from a standard deck of 52 cards. So this would be the probability of a jack or a red card equal to the probability of a jack plus the probability of a red card minus the probability of a jack and a red card. So the probability of a jack is 4 out of 52 in a standard deck of cards because there are 4 jacks in a 52 set of cards. The probability of a red card is going to be 26 out of 52 because half the cards are red and half the cards are black. And then the probability of a jack and a red card is equal to 2 out of 52 because 2 of the jacks are also red. So the probability of them of a card being jack and red together is 2 out of 52. So we simply take the probability of a jack, which is 4 out of 52, plus 26 out of 52, which is the probability of red, minus the probability of them both happening, which is 2 out of 52. And that is going to be equal to 28 out of 52. And that can be reduced to 7 out of 13. Okay, so that's the second addition rule. Now you may, if you're thinking about it, you may notice that we really only need one addition rule, and that is the second addition rule. The reason why is because if you have two events that are mutually exclusive, if you take the probability of A and the probability of event B minus the probability of A and B, you'll find that the probability of A and B is simply 0.